All right, I just finished watching Metamorphosis. I thought this was a very powerful and well constructed film. I thought it was interesting because you don't normally see not just gay stories that center around black men, but black men in Africa in particular. And I know it's a culture that in which they have a much more strict and conservative idea about homosexuality, which requires them to sort of move in a much more underground and um, surreptitious way. Very very sneaky. The opening is them in a van, and there's just a conflict of identity that comes right from the beginning, and not just thematically but visually. I thought that there's a lot of constructs in terms of how the scenes were structured that really reflected the journey of the main character and sort of his identity crisis and how he sort of moved to getting to a point in which he could sort of express himself the way that he really wanted to, outside of the context of other people and how other people thought he should be. The ending, obviously, I thought was the highlight with the metamorphosis sequences that had a very sort of dual themed idea of becoming yourself, being born again, transformation, obviously. And I thought that the piece was clearly done with a lot of passion and a lot of intent in terms of sort of reaffirming how to discover yourself and be the person that you want to be despite the environment that you're in. And the scene with the father figure guy, or I'm sorry that I don't have it correct right now, but a man that was very aggressive towards him, I thought was a high drama point and very well shot. And I thought the drama really didn't match well with the themes on display. So in the end, I enjoyed the piece and thought it was quite well done.
Metamorphosis is a very artistic and poetic exploration of identity, using kind of the more abstract poetic approach to explore the more difficult relationships that surround coming to terms with identity, expressing identity. And I think it did that in a really interesting way. And I feel like the artistic elements and the visuals really added to the storytelling and kind of making it more poem like rather than a start to finish regular prose narrative. And that was really cool.
This film is called Metamorphosis. This was a beautiful short film from South Africa. It tells the story of a man who becomes honest about his sexuality and eventually says, I choose me, and experiences true freedom and peace. I love the writing in this one. His honesty with Amanda and Jaden is so clear. The close-up scene of the father figure was terrifying, and I love the dream sequences with the sweet little boy. What really set this film apart were the womb-like scenes as he comes out of a white cloth covered with a sparkly gel-like substance and releases the bloody umbilical cord. Wow, so memorable. Excellent job.
Metamorphosis is a very interesting piece, showing the guys, acceptance of himself, metamorphosis. And I think it's done very well, stylized and a bit surreal at times, and very interesting. And the main actor gives a really good performance. I definitely like the surreal elements at another level to this, so I liked it.
Metamorphosis. I loved this short. This was incredibly well done. Beautiful cinematography. I loved the imagery that they did. I think that all of the actors were they were believable. They were genuine. Everything that was going on, I was hooked in. They had me from the very first moment. I loved all of the arc that there was to this story. It was very, very heartfelt, and they thought this through. They put it together well. It had a beginning, it had a middle, and it had an end. And everything was very, very clear, and it was a joy to watch. Bravo.
Metamorphosis really took that title to heart. I thought that the imagery with the chrysalis and our main protagonist struggling with that in glimpses throughout the film, and then finally at the end being able to break free, and having this symbolism of the chrysalis and the metamorphosis of a butterfly, and him realizing his true self in the end and not conforming to either side of things was really beautiful. I also loved that it wasn't a clean transformation. We had, sort of almost a gore to it, although it was pink glitter, but sort of the trauma of birth was was symbolized here in the rebirth as he emerges from the chrysalis, just to show that it's never, well, not never, but it won't be easy or a walk in the park. It's going to be a struggle, but it's going to be beautiful in the end. And that's really shown in this film, how his struggle to find himself finally pays off when he emerges and he is beautiful and covered in glitter and shimmering and, you know, finally free to be himself and to choose himself in the end. I like that we saw the two different sides that were, literally we see both of them on two different sides of the screen asking him to come their way, and he says, no, I choose myself. And that was really powerful in the end as well. So I really enjoyed this film and all of the symbolism and imagery that it brought.